Testing. All right. You can cut out that other.
Hey, yo, hey. Yeah. Run it up, Blondo.
Hey, see y'all from Texas, where we sit riding swangers and put diamonds in our neck.
What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing this evening? It's your boy Doc Holiday, and we are back with another HBCU tonight. Of course, it's always powered by HBCU Overdrive Media Incorporated. Make sure that you like the stream, comment, share. Most of all, subscribe to the channel. Get everything that you need. HBCU Overdrive. Hit that notification bell on YouTube. If you're on the Twitter, man, make sure you hit that follow button on Twitter. Come on to the YouTube side and hit that subscribe button. We got a lot to pack in for a good hour, maybe an hour and a half tonight, because your boy is still kind of out of it from last night. But as y'all do know, I did attend the game last night. State Fair Classic, 100th anniversary of the State Fair Classic at the Cotton Bowl. This little ticket right here. The best thing about it is we paid $25 for it. That gets you into the game at the fair and the game at the same time. Had me a good time yesterday. Me, mama, and some people. We all had a good time yesterday. I'm sorry I did not go ahead and get my brontosaurus leg of a turkey leg. I was kind of disappointed last night where I got it from. It was dry as hell. How you gonna have a turkey leg that's dry as hell? I'm trying to figure that out. How are we gonna have a turkey leg that's dry? That is dry. I'm talking about dry. I'm talking about dry to the point where it's like you would get upset dry. That's the type of dry I'm talking about. Drizzy. But look, we had a good time. It was a good game. Had that next to the March of Storm. So my head my head is still ringing because we was close to the tubas and the bass drums and the drum line, the bass drums. So my head kind of ringing still a little bit, but what we saw last night was full comedy. What else we saw last night was gonna be a full-on crash out. So you know what? Before we do all that, let's get into it. Let's see. What it do, Tigers? Yes, ma'am. The countdown to Monday begins. Oh yeah. Culture show gonna be real interesting. The culture show gonna be real interesting. Hey, Miss Bonnie, how you doing? Not impressed where he at. I do got a surprise for y'all. Got the Reese's Cup, Oreo Reese's Cup. This is good right here, y'all. This is very good right here. Y'all can't see it, but it's good. Miss Bonnie, I already made one game. I was at the Hampton game, me and my mom. We was at the Hampton game, and then the next thing we trying to do is homecoming. So I made a game. I made one game already. And it was early in the season too. So I'll be there. I'm gonna be here. Anybody got the video of that? Because I need to see it. Because I need to clip it. I need to clip it. But anyway, man. Anyway, I'm a moderator. Make sure y'all share this on Twitter. Go ahead and get the folks to roll it up in here so we can have some fun tonight. I hope everybody had a good good day today. When some of you went to church, some of you probably had church at home, and the other ones are probably still drinking their sorrows away. Oh yeah, we gonna come to this time. I told my mama. My mama already told me. She said, "Go to the tailgate early. Go to the tailgate early." She want to go to the bookstores because she got to get it due. Who did what? What did I do? Who did what? My mama said she said go to the tailgate. She said go to the bookstore first because she said she got to get some stuff out of the bookstore. Then she said go to the tailgate. And then after that, she said she was fussing because she's like, you supposed to put my name in on there so we get the damn sideline pass. I'm like, Mom, I did all this before I even got down there. I did all this before the season even started. Oh, you know who was drinking their sorrows away. Shout out to G and them last night for drinking their sorrows away. That boy drank a whole fifth. I don't know if it was E&J or Henny or whatever it was. He drank a whole fifth of it. Oh no, you ain't got to bow out, brother. You family. You family. You tell me what was the damn issues last night? Because for what I saw, it's still the same thing. It's still the same thing. But before we get into all this, y'all, before we get into it, man, just send a prayer for my baby girl Peyton. Don't know what's going on, but I talked to her mom earlier, and she said her grandpa is on life support. But give her a prayer for me, y'all. And I prayed already too. It kind of hurt me a little bit because he was a male influence in my life. He was my father-in-law. So, but give my baby girl a prayer. That's all I say. That's all I ask. Just give my baby girl a prayer. Cause she gonna need it. But other than that, man, I had a good time. Yes, I had a good time yesterday at the State Fair Classic. I guess I'm starting to get like an old man. Because I was like, why they got all this damn racket out here? I can't even pay attention to the damn game. Why Bebe needs to sit his ass down somewhere? And if y'all from Dallas, y'all know Bebe is the DJ here K104 radio station. Attendance at State Fair class. Let me see, because I that was one of the things I wanted to check on that too. But it was a good amount of crowd there yesterday. It was equally attended. I think it was a little bit more Prairie View folks there than Grambling people, but Grambling does have a big alumni base here in Dallas. So let me see. Attendance. Oh shoot. The attendance last night was 56,210. That was the attendance last night. That was a good number. I think that number is up from last season. Yeah, 56,000. How do you move? But yeah, it was a good number there. It was a good number. But yeah, it was good. I mean, we had some folks. It was a folks on the upper level in the combo. Like, of course, people gonna sit up under the awning because they don't want to get cooked by the sun. But it wasn't as bad last season. It wasn't as bad this year as last year because we sat directly into the sun. We sat directly into the sun. But let me go ahead and get my stuff set for tonight. For right now, go to my Division 2. But before we do all that, let me go ahead and let's take a good quick commercial break. We'll be right back in just a minute. It's your boy Doc Holiday. Become a subscriber on HBCU Overdrive on YouTube, and you can follow me on all social media platforms at HBCU_Overdrive on Twitter and Instagram. You can catch me on TikTok at Holiday1925 and on Facebook under my real name, David E. Smith Douglas. Also, when you become an exclusive family member, you get all the membership perks. You get all the exclusive members only videos, early access to new videos, member shout outs, and members only live chats. And also you can get birthday shout outs on here and win member when you become a subscriber. You can also hit the donation to the Cash App at HBCU Overdrive. You can hit the PayPal David Smith 1925, and you can hit the Zelle David E. Smith 30 at gmail.com. Remember, all proceeds go towards the channel, not the pocket. All right, look, man, we about to go ahead and get it cracking up in here with that D2 football talk. First and foremost, before we do that, I want to address this right here, and it need to be said. It need to be said. Now, there was a letter that was put out yesterday immediately after the game between FAMU and Alabama State. Now, this letter was put out by Bama State's president, Dr. Quentin T. Ross. He basically said during the halftime of the FAMU versus Alabama State football game, an inappropriate offensive remark was made by a Marching 100 announcer on behalf of FAMU. This is from President Marvin Johnson. I extend my deepest and sincerest apologies to the Honeybees, the Mighty Marching Hornets, President Quentin Ross, and the entire Alabama State University community. This is from FAMU President Marvin Johnson. Everybody knows, but we all know her as MAGA Marva. Now, because FAMU was, well, it's not, they were the home team, so y'all know home team goes second on halftime. It was made, I think the announcement, where he said that the honeybees was the epitome of Ozempic. Now let's stop right there, because the epitome of Ozempic is Drake. I'm gonna say it just like that. The epitome of Ozempic is Drake. I don't think the honeybees are jealous or anything like that. You know, they out there doing their damn thing, and they good at what they do. Yeah, they were the face of Ozempic, which is, rude. I mean, if that's the first time he ever did something like that, then I would say, hey, get up there and apologize. But if it's been more than one time that he made any type of disparaging remarks, then you gotta punish him for it. Oh yeah, we're gonna get into that too. It was a wild, it was a wild day yesterday. It was a wild day yesterday. It was a wild day yesterday. That was crazy right there. But before we get into all that, man, statements were made yesterday at this game, after the game, but during the game, it was a whole totally different story. We're going to talk about that in a little bit too. But let's get into the D2. Let's get into Division II football talk. Y'all know how we do it here. And going to the CIAA. CIAA, man, look, we had Virginia Union taking on Shaw and destroying Shaw in Raleigh, 59-7. Winston-Salem State with a close victory over Bowie State, 28-21. Fayetteville State surprised me. Hosted Virginia State, beat them by 20, 34-14. What's up, KD? Final in Charlotte yesterday. Johnson C. Smith celebrating their homecoming week this week with a big victory over Bluefield State, 69-13. Livingstone with a 24-point beatdown on Lincoln, PA, 31-7. And that's pretty much it. That was it from the CIAA right there. Again, next week on the 4th, Shaw takes on Bluefield State. They're going to be in West Virginia. Fayetteville State goes up to Bowie State, which is going to be a good clash right there. Livingstone takes on Elizabeth City State in Elizabeth City, North Carolina. Virginia Union and Winston-Salem State are going to be live at Bowman Gray. And Johnson C. Smith is going to be in Petersburg, Virginia, take on Virginia State. That's going to be a good one. I think that would be those two will be my games of the week for the CIAA. But yeah, they got to pass post Jada Byers from era. Yeah, I give it that. But let's go ahead to that SIAC. SIAC had some games yesterday. Let's go ahead and get into it. Yesterday, Albany State defeated Allen big time, 57-14. Central State takes care of Lane 42-13. In this game, that game was in Rochester, New York, as part of the HBCU Classic. Benedict with a big victory over Clark Atlanta, 59-24. Morgan State takes care of Miles, 24-17. That game was the Circle City 41st Circle City Classic. Fort Valley with a close victory over Tuskegee, 27-20. Kentucky State defeats Savannah State, 37-20. And Edward Waters with a close victory over Morehouse, 27-24. If I would have told y'all that Benedict, without Coach Chennis Barrett, was going to be 4-0 this season, y'all would think I'd be lying. But for next week on the 4th, Central State goes down to South Georgia to take on Fort Valley State. In fact, I think that's Fort Valley's homecoming this weekend. Savannah State takes on South Carolina State in a SIAC MEAC matchup. Allen takes on Benedict. That's live in Columbia. That is the that's the battle of the AME churches, if I'm not mistaken. So y'all understand, the Allen and Benedict are literally damn near across the way from each other in the same city. Kentucky State is going to Miles College. Albany State takes on Lane in Jackson, Tennessee, and Tuskegee and Morehouse will do battle live from Montgomery, Alabama. That is another HBCU classic right there. But who with the standings, Benedict right now sitting at 4-0, 3-0 in conference, followed by Edward Waters at 3-0. Albany State still at 2-0. Kentucky State, surprisingly, is 3-1 in conference, followed by Allen at 2-1. Fort Valley got their first win in conference play. Savannah State, Clark Atlanta, Tuskegee, and Central State all with one victory in conference play. Of course, Morehouse, Lane, and Miles sitting at Ophir. But if you would have thought, if y'all thought that Benedict, which they had a down year because it was their first year without Chennis Berry last season, it was the first year with Coach Dickerson, that now that they are sitting at 4-0. 4-0, and they should be ranked in the D2 poll. They should be ranked. Edward Waters should be ranked. Albany State should be ranked. But we shall see what's happening. We shall see what's up. But let's go into it. Y'all already know how we're going to do it. We go into the MEAC football talk. And I'm going to tell you about the MEAC yesterday. Now, MEAC pretty much looked pitiful yesterday. The MEAC looked pitiful yesterday. And my Cowboys are looking pitiful too. How the hell you let the Packers score on the first drive? Sapsuckers. Y'all know my crash out is about to commence too. All right, man. Look, we're just gonna go ahead and get into it. Every team in the MEAC, with the exception of Morgan State and North Carolina Central all lost yesterday. Let's go into it. South Carolina State went down to Charleston Southern. Charleston Southern was sitting at 0-4 before this game was even kicked off. South Carolina State gave Charleston Southern their first win in 14 games. They had a losing streak of 14 straight. South Carolina State gave them their first victory yesterday in 14 games. That is a year and a half, a season and a half of football right there. Where is Mr. Ford at? We need Mr. Ford on here because we need to talk. Mr. Ford, where you at? You had over 400. You had over 450 yards of total offense. You got an interception. But at the end, you gave Charleston Southern their first victory of the season. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. And let me get to this one because I just seen something. The OVC, let's go to the Big South OVC. Tennessee Tech runs over Tennessee State 35-8. Let's go into the CIAA. Hampton gets blown out by Elon 41-20. Maine takes care of North Carolina A&T 37-30. I'm gonna need these teams to go right back to the MEAC. I'm gonna need to go back to the MEAC. Time to come back home. Let's get back to it. Of course, we said Miles took on Morgan State. Morgan State with their victory in the Circle City Classic. This pushes Morgan record of 2-3. What type of offense did Morgan have last night? Non-existent. Even though they did run for 253 yards and 1 touchdown, passing game was non-existent. Defense did come out to play. That's pretty much all I can say about that. North Carolina Central made a long trek. It was just a team. I don't know if they brought the band or anything like that, but they made a long trip all the way here to Texas, to North Texas, play on East Texas A&M. Coming out with a victory, a close one, 50-42. Where at halftime they had a 31-21 lead at halftime. Shut out East Texas A&M in the third quarter, but in the fourth quarter, only was able to score 3 points while the Lions put up 21 in the fourth quarter. That's how close this game was last night. Walker Harris, 288, 2 touchdowns. Chris Mosley, 72 yards on 26 carries. Walker Harris added another 45 on the ground with a touchdown. Chauncey Spikes, 113 yards on 6 receptions and a touchdown. Man. Man, I know given the 456 yards pass is diabolical, first and foremost. But also having three receivers with over 100 yards and a touchdown apiece is very diabolical. Makes no sense whatsoever. Makes no sense whatsoever. These numbers, I guess some folks over in the MEAC country are going. They say they the physicality league. I'm starting to question them. Richmond with a close victory over Howard, 13-12. Wagner defeated Norfolk State, 18-13. And last but not least, Sacred Heart defeats Delaware State, 35-31. Let's get into that game. First and foremost, this game starts out that both teams got unsportsmanlike penalties at the beginning before the ball was even kicked off. Right now, Caden Bennett comes in for Delaware State, quarterback for Delaware State, Del State, goes down, scores the first touchdown of the play. Marquise Gillis scores the first touchdown, gets the ball, gives the ball to Caden Bennett. They start high-fiving the fans on the side in the end zone. Guess what? He's thrown out of the game. The rest said not only was that unsportsmanlike, but since we already gave you an unsportsmanlike penalty at the beginning of the game, how about you go ahead and go to the locker room and chill out yourself too? Now, I'll call that cap right there. Because if Caden Bennett stays in the game, mixed with what Marquise Gillis does on the ground, the game would have been flipped over to Del State. I'll say that again. If Caden Bennett stays in the game, if he does not get kicked out of the game, this game goes in the favor of Delaware State. There was no way in the world, in hell, that Sacred Heart had a better squad than Del State. And here he comes in, moseying along, talking about 2-0. There he go. We ain't got to you yet. But I'm just saying, if and I'm looking at this small recap, it does not say anything about what happened yesterday with Caden Bennett. But like I said, backup QB Jaden Suarez came in, threw over 200 yards, had a touchdown, no interceptions. They also ran the ball for 253 yards, led by Marquise Gillis, 123 yards on the ground and 2 touchdowns in the game. Pretty much played almost a clean game. Defense needs to step it up. They jumped out to a 31-20 lead at halftime. Did not score in the second half whatsoever. Did not score in the second half whatsoever, which I say it was crazy for that to even come about. But next week, Delaware State takes on Monmouth. They are on the road. Morgan State is going to D.C. take on Georgetown. Savannah State and South Carolina State go to battle. And then Norfolk State versus Hampton, the Battle of the Bay, which this will be the game of the week for the MEAC. All right. But y'all know why we're here. I'm about to get into SWAC play now. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. We in SWAC play now. We are in SWAC play. First and foremost, let's go ahead and get into this game. Texas Southern took on Mississippi Valley, traveled to Itta Bena. We in SWAC play now. Texas Southern traveled to Itta Bena. Valley had the lead in this game all the way up until the fourth quarter. Valley had the lead in the game from the first through the third quarter. In the fourth quarter, shut out, and Texas Southern took the lead and took the game 23-20 in this game. Recap. KJ Cooper comes back in 161 yards throwing. Also, as a team, they also ran for 129 yards with Athenian Riffro with 80 of those yards by himself with 2 touchdowns. I would say this, special teams was the key to this game for Texas Southern. They had better field position than Mississippi Valley. Now, Mississippi Valley comes in. Josh Brown was QB yesterday, 20 of 31, 252 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Also had another 91 yards on the ground. The team ran for 189 yards. As a team, a little bit over 400 yards of total offense. Lost the fumble and recovered the fumble on defense. And again, like I said, special teams made huge plays for Texas Southern in this game. Valley was shut out in the fourth quarter. Valley gives Texas Southern its first win. Valley sitting at 0-4. Texas Southern at 1-3. Next on my list. Is Alabama A&M went down to Bethune-Cookman. Bethune-Cookman is smelling themselves right now. They're coming out their first victory over Edward Waters. Alabama A&M pretty much one of the better starts in school history since Connell Maynard was there the first time. Bethune-Cookman took care of business, defeated Alabama A&M 41-34. 41-34. Alabama A&M didn't even have Cornelius Brown IV. He was injured for the game. Eric Handley comes in and really did not miss a beat. 27-40, 355 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. As the team ran for 126 yards and a touchdown on the ground, had close to almost 500 yards of total offense with the play. 2 interceptions on defense. Special teams was an added bonus to this, but it was not enough for A&M because Bethune-Cookman found a way to basically win this game. They found a way to in the Scotland game. Oh my goodness. Cam ran from 17-24, 217, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Also had 69 yards on the ground. Kamari Robinson, excuse me, 15 carries, 78 yards on a touchdown. Had over 500 yards of total offense, 4 touchdowns on the ground, 2 in the air. Again, special teams play is what you see from Bethune-Cookman. Yeah, and you right. You would expect Trey's defense would be solid, but giving up 30 points, 30 plus points in 2 games, is kind of concerning since that's what you hire him for as far as with his defensive knowledge. But it's the same issue that A&M had last season with, prior seasons with Connor Maynard. But like I said, Bethune-Cookman comes in, they get their first SWAC win. First and foremost, they do got a SWAC win in yesterday, and it was a division game too. Sitting in at 2-3, they're undefeated in the in division play right now, with a very important game coming up next week, and we'll get to those games also at the end. Now, good evening. Now, let's get into this game right here. Which one should I go with first? Should I go with the State Fair Classic first? Or should I go with the Southern Heritage Classic? Tell me which one should I go with first? No, that's gonna be second to last. Oh yes, please make sure y'all like, share, comment, subscribe, and donate to the channel. Y'all want to start taking donations because guess what? Homecoming is coming up, and your boy got to get down to Jackson. Me and the moms. Okay, I say the best for last. All right, Southern Heritage Classic. He said Southern Heritage Classic. All right, let's go. Let's get to it, y'all. Let's get to it. All right. All right. Alcorn and Pine Bluff in the Southern Heritage Classic last night. Alcorn looking for their first victory since I think they are on either the 6 or 7 game loser streak right now. Pine Bluff is trying to build momentum off of their first game, after their first victory of the season over, even though it was over, a non-station team, it was still a victory over Lincoln, California. Coming into this game in Memphis, Alcorn had to be bottom almost every statistical category except for rushing offensively. Well, in this game, let's go ahead and get into it. Jalen Tolbert, the Howard transfer, comes in 15 of 28, 207 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. That's the most passing yards they done had in the game since it's been a while. It's been a while. I have to say that. But the big name of the night was Jacorian Sewell. 23 carries, 225 yards, and 2 touchdowns. This man almost had averaged close to 10 yards a carry in his game. As a team, they ran for 272 yards to add on with the 207 yards passing, close to 500 yards of total offense. I say this is still the Achilles heel for Alcorn. It's still their kicking game. It's still special teams. Special teams was horrible. The special teams was horrible. But let's go ahead and look at what Pine Bluff did last night. Christian Peters, 20 of 32, 323 yards, a touchdown, no interceptions. Jalen Jennings added 63 yards on the ground with a touchdown, and also Peters with 30 yards on the ground with a touchdown too. Kareem Burke. If y'all don't know remember that guy's name right there, that kid's name, Kareem Burke, former FAMU athlete, receiver, who is the number 1 receiver now for Pine Bluff. 6 receptions, 102 yards. They get in the end zone, but he kept the chains moving. Longest catch was 35 yards. Basically, Peters threw the ball all around on the field. Kareem did lose. He did fumble the ball, but I think they got the ball back. Interception. Basically, Pine Bluff was the better team in this game. Was the better team. Looked like they were the better team overall on paper. If you look at the team stats, Alcorn actually dominated in team stats. 22 first down to 19. 5 of 13 on third down efficiency compared to the 6 of 14. But they were 1 and 2, 50% on fourth down, while Pine Bluff was 0 and 3. This game was marred by a lot of penalties. 12 penalties for 106 yards for Alcorn, 13 for 108 for Pine Bluff. Pine Bluff did control time of possession, and also control. They did not give up a turnover, fumble, or interception in this game. But the penalties are ridiculous for both teams. So that's something I'm gonna have to ask the coaches tomorrow on the coaches call, because even though Pine Bluff did win the game, 108 penalties, and you had a 478 yards of total offense. Basically 300 something yards, 370 something yards in total offense, because you take away all those penalties. That's 108 penalty yards, 108 in penalty yards on 13 penalties. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. And 106 on 12 penalties for Alcorn. That means that your team was not disciplined. That means your team was making silly mistakes. Or that means they were making crucial mistakes. which you got to rectify those. You got to fix those right there. Now, Pine Bluff with the victory over Alcorn. Pine Bluff right now sitting at 2-2. Standings right now. They are 2-2. I think they have one victory. They are 1-0 in the conference. We'll see what they can do. Sit right behind Prairie View. We'll see what they can do. All right. Go to the game where I was at last night. All right. Prairie View took on Grambling in 100 rendition of the State Fair Classic. 100 years. 100 years. That's crazy. Prairie View takes the victory. This is victory number 6 out of 7. There's 1 year that Grambling did win this game, but Prairie View has had their number 6 out of 7 years. And where is Lionel at? Where is Lionel at? You were just in here talking about 2-0, 3-0 loading up. 3-0 loading up. Where is Lionel at? Where's Mr. PV? Oh, 7 out of 8. 7 out of 8. My bad. 7 out of 8. Hey, my bad. Guess what, though? Y'all still won. Still won the game. Other than having all that goddamn the damn racket around me and stuff like that, I sound like an old man for real. It was a good game. It was a good game. I would say this. Offensively yesterday, Grambling looked putrid. It looked putrid. Zay T-Set was 21 of 43, 161 yards, 1 touchdown, but had threw 3 interceptions in the game. 3 interceptions. I'm just be honest with you, they couldn't run the ball, really. Even though Trey Bradford had 88 yards on 14 carries, they really couldn't run the ball. Receivers couldn't even hold on to the ball. Oh, they left a lot of points on the field last night. Yes, they did. They left at least 3 touchdowns on the field last night and a couple of field goals. Yeah. That game was terrible for Grambling, for the people in Grambling. Prairie View, as far as with passing the ball, really couldn't do too much passing the ball. Tevin Carter, 9 of 21, 98 yards. And then Cam Peters came in 2 of 3 for 24 yards. 122 yards combined with both QBs in the game. Lamaje McDowell should have had 100 yards in this game. 10 carries, 98 yards, and 1 touchdown. Tevin Carter added 36 on the ground. He had a touchdown also. Chase Bingman, 27 yards on the ground and a touchdown. And Cam Bonner, 24 yards on the touchdown. Bro, they said it was 56,000. I don't know where the 61 came from, but if it was 61, somebody was lying about them damn ticket scans. But Prairie View, then at 2-0. Okay, it was updated. All right, appreciate it. 61,000 at State Fair Classic. Remind me of back in the old days where it used to be packed on the upper decks. This game could have been more. This game should have been a blowout. This game could have had more. Could have had like at least 50 points in this game. Missed opportunities by Prairie View. Lack of opportunities by Grambling. What I've seen in the game. This game could have been more competitive than what we saw yesterday, boom. If you was there last night, this game could have been more competitive from what we saw, since it was both teams had a lot of points missed off the field. But in the end, Prairie View did win the game. I did go get my turkey leg, even though it was where I got it from. It was dry, and I should have went to where I usually would get it, in the middle, right by the Cotton Bowl. But for 24 tickets, I'm gonna eat that thing. Looks like, let's see. From Grambling, looks like they have a bye week. They are back at home against Texas Southern. And then for Prairie View, they will be on the road at the reservation next week. We'll talk about that. Hey, you ain't lying, bro. Certain dentists can't cut that turkey leg right. I need to go back. If I go back to the fair again, I gotta go to where the Cotton Bowl is at, because they cook their turkey leg and they be good. As soon as you break into them, just fall off the bone. That's what I'm talking about. Put your ketchup, not ketchup, put your mustard and your barbecue sauce on it. Just right. For the folks who ain't never went to St. Fair, man, just come next year. Come next year. You will enjoy yourself. All right. Next game on the list. The crash out is about to load up for the 220 quarterback club in Tallahassee. The crash out is loading up for a certain school in Tallahassee, Florida. Certain school in Tallahassee, certain school that's on crash out mode right now. It's on crash out mode. Alabama State goes into Bragg, takes on the Florida A&M Rattlers, and basically beat them down to their socks, 42-14. And boom, yeah, if it ain't Fletcher's, I ain't getting it from nobody else. I'm sorry. That became Montgomery, Florida. It became Montgomery, Florida at this point. At this point, you knew he fucked up. Anyway, Anyway, let's get into the box score. Andrew Biden really didn't have much to do yesterday. 10 of 18, 106 yards and 2 touchdowns and no interceptions. This kid, Andrew Biden, has 12 touchdowns right now and 0 interceptions. It is a mix of both, Dr. Carey. Israel. All right. Sorry about that, y'all. Sorry about that. But anyway, Dr. Israel, Bama is a little bit of both. Bama State came in looking very serious. They wanted that game. Yep, all they did was run the ball. Jamari Holtzclaw, 22 carries, 135 yards, no touchdowns on the ground. Andrew Biden also had 40 yards rushing, but the man of the hour was Marcus Harris II. 3 touches, 29 yards, but 3 touchdowns in the game. J.R. Gardner added 1 more on the ground off 27-yard run. Jalen Jones was efficient too. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns, 43 yards. Ms. Mary said, change QB. FAMU. R.J. Johnson III, 20 of 33, 133 yards, 1 touchdown throwing. Thad Franklin, 75 yards on the ground on 13 carries and a touchdown. That's all you scored. That's it. That was it. R.J. Johnson should have been sat down. Jet Petty should have came into the game. But I don't think if you change QBs, it would not amount to anything, because I think this is my thought process right here. I think that even if you change QBs, Bama State really didn't even care if you changed QBs. Bama State's defense came to play in the game. They were ready to play in this game. And the same issues that you had all season with your receivers, too many drop passes. Too many drop passes. That's one thing that's killing y'all. Another thing is defense is too light in the ass. Team stats. third down efficiency for Bama State was marvelous, 8 out of 12, and then they were 1-1. Then they was 100% on fourth down efficiency. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, y'all. That's you. You can't win a game like that. You cannot win. You cannot win a game like that. You cannot win a game like that. I'm sorry. Y'all can say what y'all want to say. Y'all can say how you being a homer. I'm not being a homer. I'm looking at from all aspects. Your defense is like your receivers drop too many passes, and then the quarterback looks like he ain't never played in a college game before. So yeah, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it loud. FAMU got a lot of problems where they have to fix the problems in-house. Part of it is recruiting. The other part is coaching. And I do not want to say that it's on Coach Colsey, but because he is the head coach of the team, is going to be on him. Bama State is sitting at 3-1 right now, while FAMU is sitting at 1-3. Surprising. FAMU sitting at 1-3 it was not on my bingos list. I said Bama State being competitive and being over 500 was on my bingo list. They will be second in they'll be second in the division. That is going to be a game in a couple of weeks, y'all. In the next 2 weeks, that is going to be the game. Because let's switch to it. Jackson State versus that school in Scotlandville. We all know what they was talking about in the media. We all know what they was talking about. We all know what they were talking about. Somebody said they wasn't impressed. This kid right here.
I know it's hard to say, but I never beat Jackson State, but we tried, though. We gonna get them next time. We gonna see them again.
He said we gonna get them next time. He said we gonna get them next time. He said we gonna get them next time. But shout out to my man Ken Batiste. He gave us a new word, a new saying, a new phrase for those spotted cats in Baton Rouge.
John, this new word. I've been thinking about this word for the longest, but I've never really put it out there in the hemisphere. The new word is southerning. Southerning is basically playing your best abilities early on, but when it comes down to the get down, you get in your own way, and mistakes happen, and the snowball effect, the downfall, it just trickles and trickles and trickles. And this really looked like the Jackson State games in the previous matchups. I mean, we could just take the SWAC championship game from last year. We could have put that in the show, and could have just switched up the background, put Mumford Stadium in there, switch up the uniforms. So that's basically how it played out. Southern was in this ball game well in the first half. They were playing with fight. They were playing with spirit. They had the lead. They had Jackson State's offense basically, bamboozled. They couldn't really run the ball like talking about. And then Southern, they basically just got in their own way. Let's show you some of those.
They were stuttering. I'm gonna get tongue-tied saying that. Stuttering. Let's put stuttering. They're playing like Southern. They playing like Southern for 7 games now. 7 games now. Jackson State has been the boogeyman to the Jaguars. Let me rephrase that. Let me take the 7 out. For 6 games before yesterday, Jackson State has been the boogeyman to Southern. Let's add number 7 to it. Oh my goodness. This Southerning is basically meaning you get put on Front Street. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They got y'all for homecoming. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Southerning. The feeling every time you play Jackson State, Southern always Southerning. Jackson State defeats the Southern Jaguars 38-13. For the folks that thought that Jackson State was going to lose to the Jaguars yesterday, I'm going to need y'all to
stop smoking that dope.
Just stop. Stop smoking the dope. Now, I will say this first half, Jackson State had the lead 17-13. And just like last season, first and foremost, man, let's send prayers to Coach Quinn. Of course, we all found out that one of his relatives' uncle passed away, and the funeral was yesterday. But he had to do his job. So, but let's give prayer to Coach Quinn and his family first and foremost. But going into the second half, it has not changed. I don't think for the 4 games this season, other than the Southern Miss game, Quinn and that defense have made adjustment after adjustment after adjustment. And it has been shut out ball in the second half since the Southern Miss game. Let's add the game with Hampton. Let's add the game with Hampton. Okay? Hampton scored 14 points in the first half against Jackson State. 0 in the second half. If it wasn't for the scheme that Southern Miss was doing, running that game, we were going to shut them out in the second half. We were going to shut them out in the second half. We were going to shut that scheme out in the second half. Go look at that game. The game against Tuskegee, even though people say that it really didn't matter, but you got to go look at what Tuskegee is doing right now. For us to play shutout ball and then come into the game against Southern University, spot them 13 points. Yeah, I said it. Spot your 13 points. And then you don't, in the first half, albeit, in the first half, and you don't score again in the second half. Like my man Kevin said, all you had to do was just change. Look, just change the background, just change the jerseys, and you had the same thing that you saw from last season. You had the same thing you saw from last season this season, yesterday, in the game. In the game. That is what you saw last season. That's what we saw last season. Thank you. Same team. It's the same team. Let's get into the box score, then we're gonna roll up out of here. I don't think nobody's gonna come up tonight. Cause I gotta check on these damn Cowboys before they give me a heart attack. Jacoby and Morgan. First of all, let's go to Southern. Let's go to Southern first, because I don't want to do that. Southern, Ashton Strada. So that lets you know your QB situation at Southern is not solidified, is not rectified, because I think Jalen Woods is still in concussion protocol. That game was almost a month ago. We're about to head into October. The game was 3 weeks ago. I don't think he has not recovered from that concussion. Trey Holly, 11 carries, 147 yards. That 73-yard run, look, off the left side, broke a tackle and just sprinted. You couldn't stop him. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He bust one. He bust one for the long run. I mean, he like the leading rusher in the SWAC right now. And I mean, that's what you do. If you was a 4-star recruit, that's what you do. That's what you do. Had 300 yards of total offense and 1 touchdown. Darren Moore, 2 receptions for 50 yards. Not impressed. Not impressed. Not impressed. Your overall stats right now after yesterday: 9 receptions, 156 yards, and 1 touchdown. Not impressed. Not impressed, y'all. Not impressed. Let's go to Jackson State. Let's go. Let's get to the national champs, the defending champs. Jacoby and Morgan, 21 of 31, 337 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. This is the Jacobian I was looking for. I needed to see him pass for more than 150 yards in the game, and he straight out came out and started slinging that thing. Ahmad Miller, 14 carries, 101 yards, 7.2 yards per carry, basically moving the ball. Patient running. That's what we heard all day yesterday. Patient running. Travis Terrell, 11 carries, 51 yards and a touchdown. And Denario Davenport, 8 carries, 24 yards and 2 touchdowns. He is Denario Davenport is your goal line back, especially with the front flip landing on his feet for the first touchdown. Marvelous. As the team ran for 197 yards, 3 touchdowns on the ground, 4.7 yards per carry as a team. Nate Rembert had a game also yesterday. What's up, cuz? Nate Rembert had a game yesterday. 5 receptions, 102 yards, and 1 touchdown. The longest was the 82-yard score to just say we are going to put the nail in the coffin. Jamil Gardner had a game also, 7 catches for 96 yards. Janela Dupree, 5 catches for 93 yards and a touchdown, 51-yard touchdown that put us up 17-13 going into halftime. Jency Riley, 2 receptions for 39 yards. And somebody sent me the clip of what he said. Somebody sent me the clip of what he said at the coin toss. Yeah, that should have been on top 10, the ESPN top 10. That Sports Center top 10. They tripping. They tripping. Mike Smith played. No, he's a DB. So with the fumble, Cam Salas with the interception. G Baby 5 of 5 on extra points, 1 of 3. That was kind of glaring. That the first miss, basically, I think the ball was played with the laces in, which all kickers like laces out. If you ever did kicking, but get it rectified. But what we saw last night, if you was there, if you was at Mumford, if you was rocking in the stands at Mumford, that is what the champions of how they are supposed to play. That is how they are supposed to play. 38-13 route of your rival. Let's go into SWAC play. Next on the list, you got Jackson State has Alabama A&M in Mobile. Have Alabama A&M in Mobile next week. That's a 5 o'clock game right there. While Southern, if I'm not mistaken, Southern has Bethune-Cookman. They on the 11th, so they have a bye week coming up. They need it. I will say this about y'all watch Bethune-Cookman a couple of times. They do not look like the old Bethune-Cookman are old. Let's go ahead and get into SWAC play for next week. Next week, of course, game of the week will be Jackson State versus A&M. Alabama State and Bethune-Cookman, 2 teams coming off of victories yesterday. FAMU in Mississippi Valley. This is the classic game in Atlanta. Prairie on the road to Alcorn, going on a reservation, and Texas Southern hosting Pine Bluff. From what I heard, that game will not be at the Shell. It will be at Houston Christian next week because of logistics. With I think this is with the, if I'm not mistaken, the soccer team. And I think we have answered the QB question with Jacobian Morgan. Jacobian is the QB to go further with. Even though we do have an ace in our back pocket with Jared Lockhart, and any quarterback that's on the bench, we do. I think we have a better QB play. The Bethune-Alabama State game is going to be a game where we want to watch that one because I think Bethune is going to come in on a high from the win. And, of course, Alabama State's coming in on a high with the win. That game is going to be in Montgomery. FAMU and Valley in Atlanta. I still like the play of Valley right now, but FAMU have a lot of issues they need to take care of. I think the way Valley has been playing this game, you got two Seminoles at head coaches, pretty much almost running the same type of technique defense. But I look at Valley's defense. I think Valley's defense is a little bit more aggressive than FAMU's. I'm gonna go with Valley for the win on that one. I'm gonna go with Valley for the win. Prairie, Alcorn State. I think Alcorn. Somebody gonna be crashing out in Norman. Somebody gonna be crashing out of Norman because I got Prairie winning this game. I got it winning big. But some has to give in Alcorn. We heard what some of the things that G said last night while he was downing his sorrows in that fifth of Hennessy or fifth of Crown. I don't think it'll be an upset, bro. I don't think you want that FAMU over Valley. Valley over FAMU. You want this right here to get upset? I don't see it. I do not see it. Undisciplined team. I don't blame brother Jordan for what he said about the team too. Like they're undisciplined. They just there to be there, so they won't get fined. And last but not least, Pine Bluff taking on Texas Southern. I'm gonna go with you, bro. I'm gonna go with this. Pine Bluff goes into Houston, beats Texas Southern. Somebody's in trouble. It's too much stuff going on at Alcorn. I got Prairie with the win. Oh man. But other than that, man, look. There's gonna be a lot of folks crashing out. I saw it last night on Twitter. Seeing some more today when I woke up. There's a lot of folks that's gonna crash out. The crash out is loading. They the crash out on for the coach's call is going to be hilarious. Who will be the first one to crash out? Who will be the first one to put Perry Daniels in his place on the coach's call? Who I'm just saying. What the? Yo. Who will be the first one on the coach's call to crash out? I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. Mr. Super Fantastic. Yeah, Coach Denver should be in a better mood tomorrow, but I know he gonna say some things. The team, you're gonna have to fix the mistakes on the team. But I mean that I like Coach Dishman. Yep. Yep. But other than that, man, let's go ahead and wrap this up. Appreciate everybody for joining me tonight. It's going to be a very, very, I want to say long season for a lot of folks, but it's going to be it's going to be a lot to say. We're going to check out the coach's call tomorrow, either on HBCU Sports or on SWAC Digital Network. We'll see. We'll see what they got to say tomorrow. But other than that, again, like I said earlier, please, y'all give my baby girl a prayer. Her papa is my ex-father-in-law is on life support, and just need prayers. He's a good dude, even though had his own faults. He's a good dude, so my baby girl needs all the prayer right now. She needs the prayer right now. But other than that, and just don't know when they're gonna take them off for life support. So, as always, you know what I'm saying? Lead with love, no malice, no pettiness. And for the announcer who made that horrible call at the halftime show for FAMU about the honeybees, I think you need to be reprimanded. I think he needs to be reprimanded. Also, Fort Valley, the Blue Machine Marching Band for Fort Valley being suspended indefinitely for hate allegations. Investigated all the way to the T to see what's going on with that band. So, other than that, man, let's get on up out of here. Y'all be blessed. Y'all be safe. Hug your loved ones. Love on your loved ones. Lead with love. Always, hey, y'all see the title. Crash out on your kids and beat them out the penitentiary. I'm your boy, Doc Holliday. This has been HBCU Tonight. If you haven't done it by now, make sure that you share, comment, hit that notification bell, and subscribe to the channel. If you own Twitter, make sure that you hit that follow button on Twitter and hit that subscribe button on the YouTube channel. We try to get to 3,000. Let's get it going. Let's get it moving. And we are going to be taking donations for a homecoming trip. So if you can, make sure you hit that. You can hit either PayPal, Cash App, or Zelle. Every dollar goes towards the channel, and don't go towards me. Go towards the channel. And as always, y'all know how it is, baby. Be easy, baby. Peace.